a law deleter.
I think I was up in maybe Minnesota at the time, or maybe Wisconsin. I don't know. I was reading about some local, I don't know if they were state representatives or whatever, but they were going through and, deleting old laws.
Yeah.
The thing was, they were deleting things that,
The good
like,
stuff?
well, no, it was just, things like, you can't tie your horse to a stop sign or something, or whatever, something that was, obsolete 150 years ago anyway. Mm-hmm. And so they're going through, taking, it was senseless.
Well, you never
it took
know.
them so much
We
time
might go
to-
back to those horses again. Then what are they going to do if they take the law off the books?
We have
right.
yummy cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
there's-
cool. Who brought cookies? Did you bring
Oh.
cookies? Wow.
Cookies.
Cookies. All right, I'll take
Those
time
are
with the good stuff in the middle. Is that cherry? Strawberry?
No, I think maybe it's, I don't know what it is. Apricot, figs, something. I don't know.
I'd have to get on my reading glasses to read this. The Big Red Robe Tea. So it says Big Red Robe. How can you say that real fast? Big Red Robe. Yeah.
Big Red Robe?
Robe tea has been regarded as a rare tea, which is called the #1 tea in Rock tea. I don't.
Now, tomorrow
There's
you're going to be live,
Chinese
huh?
names in there. There's Chinese names in there that I will never get right. It's original. I'm not even gonna try.
Well, I'm not live today.
I should learn Chinese though.
No, I
It'd
heard
be a
you're
good
going to be out and
language
about tomorrow.
Yeah. Let
you're
him
gonna-
finish with. Oh, you
Oh.
giving up on it?
Yeah, well, I'm not good with Chinese words, and I don't want to sound too much of a fool.
Well, you don't have to read it out loud if you don't want to.
Okay.
I just wanted you to see what That's the only thing in English that I have to tell you what it is you're drinking.
Makes you a nice feeling after drinking.
There we go.
Can also remain the taste after several liquids.
I know.
That's
You
cool.
talk.
I have to talk with my mouth full.
You're good. Okay.
But-
That's good. And,
Thank you.
And Badger needs a little more.
Hello.
And I don't know. I think my. I'll give you some. Let's see here. No. Hello, Ted. Oh, I sound really good now. All right, and I've got a little bit of disco music in the background. How you like the background?
Cool.
Looks vaguely circus-like,
You like my new shirt?
like a. Looks kind of like a Ferris wheel. It is. I'm so perceptive.
Very cool.
All right.
So you're going to trot about doing filming Belshare activities? Or?
As a matter of fact, tomorrow, if all goes well, and if Murphy's Law doesn't,
Murphy, your uncle, my uncle?
et cetera, really get us. We intend to set up the tea party tomorrow. We'll set it up early, like maybe 2:30 on the porch or the front yard of the Linden Apartments. Do you know where the Linden Apartments are?
Not a clue.
Okay, you know where Green Life Grocery Store is?
I've been gone a while.
West American.
It's on Merriman. You know where?
Staples?
Have you noticed Staples?
That one's hard to miss.
Kind of across the street from Staples.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know where Bojangles is on Merriman?
Yeah, the chicken
I know
place.
you've been by there.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, well, across the street from Bojangles is now a Mexican restaurant. It used to be Hardee's years ago. And then you go if you go downhill from there.
It's all downhill from there.
Downhill? Well, that doesn't sound real
Downhill
good.
from there on that side, you'll eventually run into a large house. It has a sign hanging up over the porch, I think, that says Linden Apartments. And Michael Folliott, who is part of the wallpaper project, who have produced this wonderful background that we have behind us now. This is not one of his, but it's a wallpaper project that's back there.
That's dizzying. It's like causing
and,
seizures.
So we're going to have it either on his front porch or in his front yard, and set it up right there. And we're not going to do an actual live feed, but I'll record it. And that's why we're starting early, so that we can start on time here, and we'll record it. And every time we get a 1 hour segment recorded, we'll run it over here and we'll play it. So we'll be running an hour behind live. So we'll be live minus an hour.
Well, you'll be on time 4 to 6. But
We'll run our regular
real
time. Yeah, our air time will be the same.
Right.
But we'll actually be having the party an hour earlier than regular air time.
So come down to Green Leaf Grocery.
Well, up to the Linden Apartments,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I know what.
to the front. What you got there? Oh, you got a light.
I'm just fixing stuff. I was
All
coming
right.
in to talk about the tea party tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You have to.
cool.
Y'all have to share a
Go,
microphone now.
ahead, because I'm going to go back and
Y'all-
check on my
y'all do
goodies.
that.
Came
because I
in
have
with
to run
like a
around.
Geiger counter. I like,
You have to go back to.
Yeah, just definitely radioactive in here.
That sounds good. Well, you didn't know I was nuked at 3 Mile Island?
You were nuked?
The nuclear accident back in Pennsylvania back in
Oh,
'79.
that's why you're the glow lady. That's what.
That's-
That's when you first started glowing.
9 months later, the idea for glow-in-the-dark clothing was born. Yep. Yep.
That's when you first started glowing.
Yep, all the flies died. We lived on a farm, and they said that it could not have been radiation because we would have died because it takes more radiation to kill a fly. And then I had another expert tell me that it was their time of the year to die. And it's like, growing up in the country, you know that they just don't all drop over dead, bam, today.
maybe
So,
it was
yeah, it was
maybe it was like a mass suicide thing, like Jim Jones in Jonestown.
It was.
Maybe
Why-
the flies drank the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wrote a letter to Real People, the TV show that they had on at that time.
Yeah.
And I suggested that they bottle it as a fly killer.
Right.
And then they had come and filmed us, and they didn't air it. They were afraid of a lawsuit.
Yeah, there was something just. I don't know. We were talking about me and somebody were talking about these hardened uranium bullets. I guess you can get them now. Like you can go. I don't know if a regular person can go to your local sporting goods and get hardened uranium bullets for your 9mm or something. But apparently they're available to the general public now instead of just the military.
You
And
didn't talk. I set it all up so that.
but it was at least a decade ago. Somebody was suggesting that they could use hardened uranium for cookware. So they were going to take this,
Did you see that? You did
byproduct
see-
of
you did see what
nuclear
I-
fusion or whatever,
see what I said.
and make frying pans out of
I hope
it.
you're
You know, it's-
enjoying the tea party.
That's great, John. Should do that more
So
often.
anybody can get up there and
really.
do that. And if this starts whistling or bubbling or anything, be sure and pour it into
And that one.
this
Into the
one.
oolong.
And then whatever's left over, you can finish filling the other one.
You might want to put this back where it belongs because I'll just get spill on it and get crumbs on it. And
It's okay.
So yeah, so tomorrow what's gonna happen is the tea party is gonna do like the baby does, where they're gonna almost live.
Yeah.
So the show time on the channel is gonna be the same, 4 to 6. But the actual tea party, we're gonna have a live correspondence in the field report of the tea party, provided by the mad scientist himself. So yet again another
Now why?
experiment in almost live TV.
Why are we doing that?
For the fun of
Well,
it.
we are doing that because I've hung out at that apartment building before, and even on days where there's nothing going on in Asheville, like there are people constantly walking between downtown and wherever else they go in North Asheville. So any day of the week, you can find people walking by, particularly at night. It's very interesting. People leaving and coming through the downtown area.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
really, really fun to interact with those people for sure. Last time we were there, we actually had tourists throwing rocks at us. That was kind of bizarre.
Of course.
It's bad enough they come here, it's even worse when they start becoming violent, The tourists are coming, the tourists are coming.
Yeah, quick, hide
Yeah.
your dogs.
Yeah.
hide your dogs. Yeah, I'm always amazed, because I'm a tourist myself. I've been a tourist for 16 years,
Right.
basically, and but I come back to Asheville and I'll read the papers, and I always love reading the letters to the editor kind of things. And like last year, a couple of years ago, I was here last, and There was a letter from a woman who had just moved in from Florida or someplace.
Right.
She'd only been here
Classic.
like a year.
The classic letter, yes.
And she was saying, she was complaining about the homeless people begging and the smell of urine everywhere and how embarrassed it was to have her friends come up from Florida or wherever to visit her in her brand new city and have to smell, urine in the back alleys and see homeless people, stumbling about the streets, and how we, Asheville has to jump up and clean out the homeless and, whatnot, And it just like, it just seems so strange that here she was claiming the city as her own, basically, and already, less than a year, already trying to kick people out of her brand new, home. And
Like she right.
yeah, it's just, I would say, send her send her off to Washington, D.C. or someplace, where there's, where the whole
Well,
land
it has intrigued me since I've moved here. It has intrigued me the whole idea of the longer you're here, the more valid your views are.
or something, yeah.
That's a major seems to be, I don't know if it's in the water or what, but like you're here and for some reason like seniority seems to trump good ideas.
Right. Well, there's that.
Well, I've lived here longer, and by golly, I don't want that book learning in my city, So it's like a weird kind of, we don't want no sky rises here. We don't want no, and then
Right.
then you have the progressive people who are just want it exactly the way it was when they moved here.
Right.
Not realizing that we do need jobs. The area is going to grow, and we should kind of guide it in a way that's
it'd be
manageable.
nice.
It's going to happen.
Right.
The question is whether we're going to just sell out like the whole pack place thing, and
Right.
just give our land away,
Right.
or if we're going to guide it correctly and make sure that people in the community get jobs and homes and education and job training. So,
Right.
I mean, it's going to happen.
You sure we just don't need another prison here? You don't really
I'm not
need.
really for prisons,
You don't
so-
really need schools or
No, well-
medical centers. You could use prisons have jobs.
Well,
being
it is-
facetious, but yeah.
Well, there are at some point. I do think I've met. I'm not naive. I've met enough people in my life, and I've been to jail before and
Right.
realized that they're there for a reason. There are some people.
There
that,
are people
that need to
yeah.
be contained.
Yeah. There's definitely that.
90% of the people in prison are not of that ilk.
Right. They're drug
which
offenders
is the problem,
or
right?
whatever.
It's become a money scam for the government.
Right. Yeah, big one too. And
But then
privately
you start
owned
thinking
prisons
about
is
like
crazy.
the prisoners' guards. I mean, you were kind of joking about there'll be more jobs.
Right.
But again, you got to think. You think of the stereotypical ideal of what a prison guard is. Just a mean SOB who's
Right. Dumb as a rock
right.
and following
Well, if
orders.
he's not in that job, where else? He's going to be somewhere else in society. So that's the scary part. Like, I've had conversations with friends who are
Right.
like, we shouldn't have a military. We shouldn't, professional athletes shouldn't be making as much as they do. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you know these people and see what they're like, imagine them like, working at the library, or you know what I mean, like they're in charge of, you know what I'm saying. So you
Right.
put them in other parts of society. Well, maybe they work where they work because they kind of need to.
Yeah, well, there's that. Everybody
I mean, if there's no
fills their own
military, you're going to
position,
have a
I
bunch
guess.
of snipers running around, people who are, ready to kill people. So
Well, yeah, maybe.
at least we know where they are, kind of ish.
I was arrested up in Minneapolis once. I was sitting on the Mississippi River, and I was doing a small sculpture right where this old stream used to come into the river, and there was a break in the bluffs, right above it. And it was for thousands of years. People got off right there and went up through the bluffs to portage above the falls and the rapids, and that's why Minneapolis was there, because of the falls. But so anyway, I was down there and building this small sculpture, and I had beer in my backpack, and cops come down, Parks Police, and arrested me and jailed me for possessing beer. I had beer in my backpack, and they didn't charge me with drinking beer or open container. They just charged me with possessing it. And I was in my 40s at the time. I'm pushing 51 now. Anyway, so they take me to jail, and I'm there, and I'm kind of humored by the whole situation. It was the night before Easter, and I'm in jail for having beer in my backpack, and so, and I admittedly I had drank a few before they came, so I was, I was feeling goofy anyway. But and this cop, the big sheriff guy, down there in the jail, huge man, he looks at me and says, "You find this funny?" And I said, "Oh yeah, don't you?" And he says something like, he says, "Well, you're in jail." And I says, "Well, and I got around to it anyway. I says, like I'm getting out of here in the morning. You're going to be here for the rest of your life.
Right. Right.
See you later. Bye. Have
Right.
fun. Jerk. But and hopefully the guy actually did something better with his life. But they're all such hard asses in the jails.
Well,
I mean,
it's
it's
part of it they have to, but then part of it is like how do you? At what point in your life do you decide that your career is going to affect your personality and
Right.
perspective and attitude and levels of consciousness? At some point, you have to feel your soul dying and go, wait, come back, I like you. You're an integral part of my consciousness.
I had a theory once about what I called the scary striped trouser men, because a lot of officers have the stripes.
Right.
And I thought, first you have to have this kind of, weird personality.
Well, you gotta have
I mean, right, you have to be weird enough to put them on in the first place, but I figure the longer you wear them, the more like they have some adverse effect on your aura. And it's like a magnetic strip or something inverting you. So the longer you wear them, the more twisted or sick you get, and pretty soon you're capable of stuffing people into the ovens or the gas chambers, and
it's fun,
and then going home to having a dinner with your wife and kids,
be able to eat and sleep.
It's just. It's.
Maybe there is a magnetic thing in there that helps erase the memories of.
The economic times are tough, and it's it used to be where you'd have to fight tooth and claw to get a prison in some community. Nobody wanted a prison around, but now it's like, we can have jobs.
Right.
And so what if the prisoners will be in a privately owned prison creating a product for 10 cents an hour, and then the people that actually get paid $20 an hour to build that product will not be working anymore because the prisoners will be working.
Or undercutting it, right?
Right, and the prison slave labor is a big industry, and it's all fueled by the drug war. So let's make more drugs illegal. Let's make coffee illegal. So instead of
the end of the world.
Right, if you made coffee illegal, suddenly instead of paying $10 a pound for good beans from someplace, you'd be paying like $1,000 a pound.
Right.
And then maybe $2,000 a pound for the real good coffee, and then we could start gang wars and kill people over their coffee beans and stuff. I think maybe we should.
Hey, you want a quarter bag of beans?
Right.
I got some really good beans.
Got heady
Right.
beans.
Hey, French roast.
French roast.
Right, it's the heady.
I want
heady
the
beans.
mountain grown Colombian, the richest
French
kind.
roast.
Oh, it's a love offering. Oh, thank you.
If you love
Just
what we're
offering you
doing,
love,
offer your support. Yeah.
There's something down at the tree I suggested over a week ago, at least, was put out a donation jar, and it hasn't happened. And
Well,
we were discussing, doing something special for the Bell Share, and
Like,
well,
I think there's somebody actually producing flowers put up, and I was supposed to go put them up today, but I wasn't really up to it. And
for the magnolia tree, to save it?
yeah, and I don't know. It just seems that the enthusiasm for doing anything more is just not there, kind of.
But then you have to remember service. There's
Yeah.
very few people who are willing to do work for nothing.
maybe they're just not big into getting into the Bell Share thing. you
Right.
know?
No, I can
Just-
understand that.
Yeah, I can understand it. See, that's what I mean. I can understand it on
But
on
I
that
also-
viewpoint, not being part of that, just being focused on the tree and staying with it.
Right.
Give them as much slack as you can.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is, everybody's got their eccentricities.
Right.
You know that. I know
I
that.
don't.
But
Which one do you want to talk about first?
But they have picked this battle, as they
Right,
say,
exactly.
the tree, and a worthy tree it is.
It is a beautiful tree.
a
Actually, I
worthy
think it's
tree.
2 trees, and it looks like they're making love.
And but one or two trees, it's worthy.
Yeah.
It is worthy to be saved, and I believe that whole little chunk right in there is worthy to be saved
Yeah.
from high rises.
I actually had a flash of insight or something. There's directly behind that wall, and there's the street, whatever it is back there, and then there's this public parking area. It looks like mostly public employees park there. But why wouldn't it would maybe be cool if he built his condo on that parking lot?
back a block back.
Well, it's even not.
The other-
It's,
the other
it's
side of
only
the
it's only
street.
50 feet away.
The other
from
side of
that.
the street.
Other side of the street. You could make that parking lot, you know, a sunken double-decker parking lot, have his condos, and then if you really wanted to be cool, you could actually bridge over that street and create more green space right up to his front door. So, you know, like,
And you can make
like-
a tunnel.
What is that?
right, like those, you know, those bridges over the freeways that have McDonald's and crap on them
And
nowadays.
you could drive into, you could have driving in parking from below,
Right.
and you could have garden space above.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I think, you know,
Yeah. I don't know how that would go with the fire thing, having a tunnel, but, you know.
Well, I just don't know what, you know, what it is,
That's right in your hand.
people make, that's the difference between an artist's concept
Yeah.
and a businessman's concept.
Computer. We were talking about this. When the computers decide how to arrange ourselves.
Is it that?
It sounds like it.
Is it just growling? It's not tweeting, is it?
No,
No,
I hear,
it's not
I hear
tweeting.
the fan. I don't hear the steam thing.
I hear the
Let me-
water
Let me
growling.
have
Yeah.
some.
Oh, please.
But I think the tree issue has become more symbolic than actually literally saving the tree. I think people can find it as a symbol of, you know, you're not going to sell our land and our area out this cheaply.
Right.
And you know, if that tree wasn't there, how would people protest the basically giving away of public land that was,
Right.
you know, supposed to be conserved as a park,
Right.
like for all of time?
And they did. They gave it away.
and they gave it away, and it's, you know,
Cheaply.
they know what it's worth, and how that happened. If that tree wasn't there, how would people visually show a presence
Right.
of protest against literally raping the city for the lowest common denominator? And so the tree, I think, is obviously there are people who very feel strongly about the tree
Right.
or have since have strong feelings about it, and but I think it's more symbolic of the overall thing. Struggle
Right.
is, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Are we just going to give it away to computers, or are we going to let, you know, the artist and the good things about this area guide and craft our city?
Right. Let the artists,
Well, it's
let
the-
the artists and the philosophers have
At
some
least
input.
a say, yeah. Let's work
there
together.
it goes. It's
Now,
screaming
now.
and spitting.
Yeah, now she's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. She's ready.
God, it makes me nervous.
Okay.
It's like it's a geyser over there.
Oh, go. Okay.
Well, a few years back, I had an accident with a pressure cooker that exploded
Oh, really?
while I was making soup, and
All right, let me go.
yeah, I get pretty nervous around those kind of steaming,
Things that boil
spitting,
and steam now?
and scream. Yeah, and it was just one of those things. You know, it's like I wasn't burnt too severely. I had, you know, quite a lot of burn.
The lesser man probably would have died.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, we had, you know, like that soup was really the bomb, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's something else
Kinda.
that you don't know. I've watched Badger go through what probably would have killed a lesser man repeatedly. he is one of the most resilient. You know, this is the guy who just pedaled his bicycle here from Nashville.
Right.
And, you know, does that give you an idea who Badger is? That's like Badger came to tea. All right.
Well, you know, I hadn't been for a while, and I was getting bored with what I wasn't doing over in Nashville, and I'd helped, you know, a friend renovate a house, and then I helped demo another house, and we're going to help rebuild it, but it just never got around to the rebuilding stage, and I was desperately wanting to build a garden out of the stone and the dirt that came up from underneath the house.
I just added water to both the pots, so you know. But anyway,
I'm in it for the caffeine, man. I'm not a connoisseur.
okay.
I'm in for the fix.
I'm gonna go cook some. If y'all will carry on conversation, I'm gonna make some muffins. Are those muffins high on your list?
Well, I'll eat anything, you know.
Well,
That sounds like a good show.
Yes, I'll eat anything. Sure.
No.
Oh, what a bowl of Nightcrawlers. Okay.
Don't get me started.
It's like, have you seen the Will It Blend stuff on YouTube?
No. Will it blend? Oh,
Will it blend? The guy has like an industrial strength blender, and he's put everything in from like iPhones to like golf clubs. I mean, it will liquefy it, man.
Oh, but he doesn't eat it.
Oh no.
Oh, well, see. What's that?
But I'm just saying, it just reminded me of the, I'll Eat
Would you
Anything
have
show. It's
camper-
kind of like, will it blend?
Camper Dave called me on the phone today. And now Camper Dave, he'll eat grasshoppers.
Oh, sure.
Cicadas?
Now, I don't know about cicadas.
Well, they're good.
Have you been eating cicadas?
No, I've eaten grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers, okay.
Yeah. A long time ago. I haven't done recently, but
That's,
I suppose if I had a flock of locusts come in, I'd eat them too.
you were a Marine. Were you in Vietnam?
No, I was too young for Nam, and yeah, good. And then I got out right before Ronald Reagan took over, which was even better. And I was in when Jimmy Carter was president. It was.
Well, if you had to be in, I'd say that was
Yeah.
one of the better times. At least there was a Democrat in the White House.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter was a pretty
liked-
honest man.
I
Yeah.
liked Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, so did I.
I still do.
Yeah, I
Actually
still
bought
do
one of his
too.
Books. He wrote a book.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty controversial.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, something about peace for Palestinians, not so much oppression or something, and the Israelis apparently got kind of ticked off and
Right.
said, "Mind your own business, Jimmy," or something.
Right.
Yeah. But
We're not interested in Christian morals.
right. Well, yeah. Why should they be?
Exactly.
They're not Christian.
But anyway, well, I'll go throw a couple on.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah. Here.
It's like you're eating cookies like it's
Right. I'm just.
like it's dinner.
I don't come for the brilliant commentary or conversation. I'm just coming for free cookies. I don't even know if anybody's out there watching.
Sometimes the conversations are not so brilliant.
Right.
But I've watched when you're on, they tend to be pretty insightful. At least different.
No.
You seem to have an interesting perspective on things that most people probably haven't experienced.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm an artist, and I think even the University of Florida a few years back just, finally figured out that, artists just don't think like regular people. We're off in one side of our brain more than the other or something, and so they were suggesting that the university treat artists differently instead of forcing them to take these mindless classes in
Right.
geology or whatever that is just kind of beyond, their patience or comprehension, and let them, be artists. And
Right? Give them a big ball of Play-Doh and,
Right.
and a big room and some
give them
cannons. They can just give them
Right.
toys.
Yeah,
man.
give 'em-
toys and tools.
give
And,
them toys and drugs and let them go to town. But
that sounds like an education to me.
yeah, that'd work for me. Because I don't do drugs anymore much, and tried a few over the years. Used to really get into hallucinogens, but
Right.
I'm just too old for that crap anymore. It's like I don't need the trip to.
Right, you-
I've gone through those doors so many times.
Exactly. You can open it without.
Yeah, but it did cause
Whereas
some.
in the past, those things were the key. Now just the lock is busted off the door. It's just kind of swinging.
Well.
Every now and then it just opens on its own. It's like, whoa! I wasn't trying to go in here today.
Yeah, that's another thing. Radical queer, and I always told somebody about my door is not my closet door is not only open, it's blown off the hinges.
Yes.
That would be an accurate
Well,
representation.
yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't so open in the Marine Corps, and
You say unfortunately?
yeah, I mean, I wish I would have been. I guess by the time I got out, I was calling everybody sweetheart and darling instead of sir. And stuff. They said, "Are you gay?" And I'd look at them and say, "Was that you last night?" Or something. Because I thought the Marine Corps, and I'm sure this isn't true for all of them because it's just a generalization, but I thought it was kind of a repository for a lot of small town, closet case fags like me that wanted to prove their manhood.
Whatever, right?
And sometimes, I used the excuses like, "Oh, the Marines were looking for a few good men, so was I." They took me anyway. Tried to make me an officer, and actually offered me a scholarship to Annapolis, which I turned down. But I suppose the offer came after I was already in boot camp, and I'd already had a taste of the crap to come, and I thought, yeah, they said, well, you can go to Annapolis for 4 years, then 5 years as an officer, and hell, if I would have done that, I could have been retired by now.
Right.
Or maybe, flying around with my own squadron, bombing the heck out of, people I don't know.
Yeah, 4 brown people, that seems to be our target nowadays.
Yeah. Well, all you gotta kill somebody. Keeps the war machine busy, keeps people in jobs, and
It's all about them jobs.
And I heard there's some prison, I don't know, maybe more than one, but I guess since the 30s they've been making, military hardware in these prisons. And somewhere along the line I heard a story of a man that was refusing to work on, electronic parts for guided missiles in the prison or whatever, and was being, given solitary confinement because of his refusal to work on weapons of war or something.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know all the details. It's just a story I heard once, but pretty crazy.
I finally got the tea table all set and all the...
And it's almost time to go.
No, not near. But we will have to remember at 6:20, so in an hour, we roll another 420 roll.
Oh, so you're staying on until 7. It's
This
3.
day.
Oh, cool. So, cool.
Have you been enjoying your stay?
Well, yeah, I'd stayed kind of the weekend and wasn't arrested for selling trinkets on the street. Pretty much. I stayed around.
You're getting the Tea Party bump here.
Huh?
You're getting the Tea Party bump.
Bump.
Yeah. That means that everybody knows what you're up to.
Oh yeah. It's I've thought about that. It's like here I am.
Officer, that couldn't have been me. I was on the Tea Party, and
But
Right.
you also get a rerun at 2 a.m. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I have no TV. I have no electricity, and Yeah.
So not tonight, but Saturday morning, which is Friday night
right.
at 2 a.m. You'll need to turn on your TV in your backpack, your battery operated TV in your backpack.
I'll just
and-
readjust my
and
antennas
climb
here.
up a telephone pole and connect it to somebody's cable or something so you can.
Maybe if I just wave this around my head.
I'm sure you'll pull it in.
It's the beginning of another snake. The last one was like 5.5 feet long and had a big stone for the head and a little cage with little stones for rattle, and could wrap it around my waist and tie in the knot, and I called
Did
it.
you show him the rattle you brought
I
in?
call it the American trouser snake. And there was a whole story about, the legend. Yeah, this one piece needs to go in there somehow, but it's all from Reed Creek, the stream that comes out of the storm sewer system here of Asheville, then goes past what's left of the Pink House because they destroyed it yesterday, apparently. It's the end of an era down there, the Pink House. Anyway, I walked down the stream, and that used to be a source of fabulous art supplies years ago for me, and
Apparently it still is.
it still is. There's so much junk in that stream. And I had once, after I got busted for rearranging the furniture garden down at the river, I had started rearranging the stream, outside the Pink House, and
I remember.
and then I was, waiting for the dog to die after going to court for that garden, but the whole thing could be nicely redone. Of course, every time it rains, there's flash flooding, and it's outrageous. It'd have to be really done well, but I almost got washed away in a flash flood there myself once. God, it was like I was on high ground too, and the water came flooding over the road and down through the backyard into the basement of the Pink House.
I lost a car in front of what's the Shell station now? It used to be Tops
right.
Texaco. It's the Shell station now. The road in front of that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost the car there. I drove. It was one of those flash floods that they don't happen often that big, but it was a flash flood there, and I drove through what I thought was a pretty good sized puddle in front of that gas station. And listen, when I saw the wave of water come up over the hood
Right.
of the car, I went, oh no, and the car stopped being like that when it sucked the water into the air intake on my diesel engine. It was froze up, boing, finished the car off, and that quick.
So it didn't wash it away down the stream?
No, it didn't wash it away downstream. And 10 minutes later, it was gone. The water was gone, and I pushed the car over into the gas station.
I thought you could have like a dude, where's my car kind of moment.
No. When I say I lost it, it was no longer a usable car.
Right.
That's right.
No, Bill Hicks
Look
has
at that.
a lot of jokes about.
Boy, that's...
Dude, where's my car?
Well, he does this bit about illegal drugs, and he starts talking about what happened to him. He's like, why is it always the the screw up who gets the commercial for the drug? I lost my wife, I lost my job, I lost my family, I lost my car. Don't do drugs. And he's like, well, I'm certainly not doing them with you.
Right.
You brought Dr. Doom to the party here. Get this guy out of here. He's bumming me out.
Right, well,
He's like, 'cause I'll tell you what happened when I took him. I think he was talking about, or he was talking about, you always hear like man on acid jumps off a building, thought he could fly, and is dead. What a tragedy. He's like, that's not a tragedy. He's like, we lost a moron. Good, we lost a moron. He's like, 90% of people who experience that, experience, true connection with all things, love and everything, and
but because they don't have a knife.
I probably have a knife someplace, but it's probably one that I would clean rattlesnakes with if I had the opportunity.
But you want to try either of those. They're both wonderful.
Blackberry and black cherry. I've been eating blackberries like a pig. There's like so many of them out there at Bonnie's. Yeah, there's tons of them out there too, and there's more blackberries than.
Yeah, they're coming in, aren't they?
Do you want one of these?
I'll wait for the next batch.
Okay.
In that case,
Thank you.
I shall toast
Thank
the
you.
next.
Thank you, Mr. Mad Scientist Man. You treat us so well here.
Well, he's doing better than his intern did. His intern off dropped the ball there on the muffins, and
Who is the
heck,
intern?
he hadn't even been here in 3 months. So I'd say the intern either graduated or
He's
dropped
found
out.
other things to do. He's hanging out with Stitch. You remember Stitch?
Sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. Yeah, over time you lose
She's a dog
track.
who used to hang out in the courtyard at Vincent's.
Yeah, after years of being gone and away, it's kind of hard to. I never keep track with people. I'm not kind of the person that calls somebody up out of the blue on the phone and just talks for an hour about life in general. And I guess I'm just not there. But
I know you and I are similar in that respect. It's about living in the
Anticipation.
moment, and if it's not in the moment,
well, I figure if there's somebody in Florida I want to talk to, I just go to Florida and randomly run into them.
Right.
Eventually,
you want to visit with me? You come, you pedal your bicycle
come to Asheville
from Nashville, Tennessee, on up to come to the Tea Party, and here you are. Yeah.
Well,
You got to
there's
admit that's a.
there's certain parts of
I was
Nashville.
impressed.
That's commitment there.
I should
And
be.
and I got these lousy muffins.
Yeah. I pedaled,
that's
I pedaled
fabulous.
from Nashville, and all I got was these lousy muffins
muffins. I need to give him a
When I was a,
and this T-shirt.
when I was a kid and growing up in Wisconsin, I would hitchhike up to Hayward, Wisconsin. Well, I guess it was 100 and some odd miles or 180 miles, whatever it was, from my hometown, and I'd go up there just for the fudge. I mean, for the adventure. They had this Tremblay's, candy shop up in Hayward, Wisconsin, and they made fabulous fudge. So once in a while, I'd get a wild hair and just hitchhike up there to get fudge.
Right?
Yeah, it was an adventure. First,
I shall return.
back in the good old days.
You gonna take your cards and leave?
Yeah.
You have
I have to go.
you have a show on after 9, don't you?
No, not today.
Not today.
Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, today I'm just editing.
And what's her name is going to be helping you? Y'all are helping out with each other's shows now.
I think so.
That sounds like a good idea. Is that going to work
I
for
hope.
you?
She doesn't know about every Friday because of she works in a studio or a salon, and Friday's a big day. So
A hair salon?
I think so.
That must be why she always has such, her hair is like extensively done up, Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be one, hopefully.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we are going to have Maureen, the organizer of Time for Our Power. She's going to be hosting Glow Lady TV. And then we'll also have Patty. I don't know if Lisa will make it or not. And then we have Wild Bodima. So whoever likes women drummers
All right.
will like tomorrow's show.
Here.
Well,
Want
thank you,
one of
sir.
those?
No, thank you.
They're really good.
Well, I'll be back. Back.
To be back.
Well,
Yeah.
I know, but
Where you from?
I know it's like.
Where are you from? Sound like New Jersey? Where are you from now?
I'm a Florida Yankee.
Florida Yankee.
Yep. 30 years back.
But you
back
were
and forth.
you were 3 Mile Island?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that in New York?
Pennsylvania.
That was in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, they have
Middletown.
is it Turkey Point down in?
Florida? Yeah.
They tried to get me to work there.
Morning.
Hey.
Hey there,
Yeah.
come on in. Oh, you brought your laptop.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want internet?
Nah, that's all right.
Oh, we have internet?
Oh, my junk.
Are you?
Fashion.
Oh, I didn't know
Here,
that.
do it. Try it out. See, we need to.
Oh, I didn't know we had internet.
We're supposed
That's
to.
cool.
It's hung up on something.
Actually, why don't you just go ahead and do it? Because they can tell the viewers you can go to urtvforums.org and go to the chat room and you can interact with the Tea Party. You can join the
Wow.
E. It'd be the E Tea Party, the E
Wow.
Party.
Oh,
Although,
dear.
don't get the wrong idea when I say E Party. We're more like in terms of electronics.
E-party? What was? Oh.
Why are you?
I'm
What are
making
you
a
doing?
mess.
Pour some in my cup too. After
Well,
you finish
he
yours.
was saying E-party, and I know he didn't. know what
She
he
got
was talking
excited, yeah.
about.
Pour some in there. Oh, that's why that thing's. I saw a neon sign that was nothing but a big E on eBay. Go
Yeah.
for what I considered a big price, and I was wondering why so many people bid on this big E.
Right.
A neon light up neon E.
And what was it?
It was just this
E.
an E, lowercase E.
I suppose it'd be just like if you had a great big neon sign that said crack.
It'd probably go for a lot.
No, they
Put it above your-
And crack guys got no money. You can get there.
Well, the guys that sell it
Okay.
do.
Huh?
The guys that sell it do.
Yeah, maybe
I understand that
somewhere down the line they do.
somebody has it.
All right. Actually, I'll be right back. I have to go over here to get copies made of my Glow Lady TV
Yeah.
to see
So
about getting
interesting thing with it.
sponsors.
Oh, it's something I've made that's not
it's
quite finished.
It doesn't seem to be plugged in on this end.
Put one more oyster shell up inside there, but I have to kind of cram it in there and
Musical instrument?
it makes noise. I don't know how musical that might be, but it's just another rattle. All the pieces I found down in Reed Creek, the stream that comes out of the storm sewer system from downtown and wanders down and actually has some fish in
Do
it
you know
now.
if these are hooked up?
But, 15 years ago, it was just totally dead. Absolutely nothing living in that stream. But
The internet
Yeah, I heard
works.
about that.
Huh?
The internet
So-
works. Yeah.
Okay.
anyway,
Do you know
Pink
if
House
those
used to be
work
right
for
next to where it came out of the
I
storm
think
sewer,
they're
but the
both
Pink House is no longer there.
I should return.
It's been destroyed. It's the end of an era.
Yeah, go to
Your
I'm not
muffin
paying
is
attention.
just popping. We'll let you get
Oh,
back.
is that mine?
It's somebody's.
John, you want a muffin?
Hello, Michael.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Is there a plate?
I just used my coaster.
Uh-huh.
Salt
Okay.
on the coaster.
And she'll let us in and out?
Here's one.
Oh,
You
yeah,
want-
there's
are you
jams
gonna,
over
like,
here.
email me
There's
her phone
blackberry
number,
or
maybe?
black cherry.
I'll try on the next one, maybe.
Okay. Well,
Oh, okay. You'll be home? I'll call you.
I will see you back in a few.
I'll
And
call
there's,
you. I'm on the air right
different
now. I'm doing
jams
the key
and
point.
there's
You can drop by if you
butter
like.
over yonder. And
Okay, you can drop by if you like for the tea party.
not getting
You go
it.
till 7. I've already done it.
I'm afraid I don't know
Rat traps and rat
nothing
bait.
about such things.
Poison. Bye-bye. He asked me, did I hear that there was rat traps and rat bait, something for the wallpaper project, poison. Does that make any sense to you?
No.
All right. Just thought I'd check.
Yep,
So I
it's
can't get a
easy.
connection on the internet.
Okay, I'll switch the thing.
Did you, or you're going
No,
to?
well, you can drop it to the next one down.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one it is so I can go
It's
check.
the one on the back.
Well, I need to know the number.
Oh, I don't know. You can tell the number. It got painted.
So my car is dead again.
Why is it dead this time?
Water pump.
Oh, okay.
Now those are relatively easy to change
Well,
on
you
the
can
old
probably
ones
change
anyway.
the water pump out yourself.
Because if it's a newer car, you can't find the damn
It's
thing.
not a newer car.
No, it's 92. I'd have to buy the darn thing as well.
Sure.
But I got at my mechanic, and
Okay.
I run out of credit with him. So
Oh,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
you need a new mechanic.
One that doesn't know you so well.
You see the other spot?
Well,
Yeah, I do.
I used to work on my own vehicles because I had to.
Okay.
And
Well, maybe the other
And,
spot's hooked up. I'm gonna drop
my
it.
last vehicle, I was racing down the road at 65 miles an hour going through Nashville,
And see.
and I
Try
no
this.
longer had a license.
Try that and
And
see if you get an internet
I'd had
now.
this van that was parked for a
Yes?
long time.
Hold it.
Just try
It's
it.
connecting. I have to get it connected.
Okay. All right, let it be, Jonathan. I dropped it down. He thinks it's connecting. Let's see if it does.
Well,